Hi everybody. Anybody? Welcome to Lunchtime Live. As soon as somebody's on, give me the thumbs up if you can hear me. I think we're gonna have a pretty good connection today because we're really close to the building. Hi, Sally. Let me know if you can hear me. I think you're our first person watching. Today we're going to be talking about the white sage. Hi, Anne-Marie. Yay, thanks for the heads up about sound. Hi, John. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes and then we'll start. I think we've got one more minute. So it's nice and hot and sunny. I thought it was gonna be a lot colder today. Hi, Sylvia. Yes, there is a house finch. There's also bees buzzing around. It's springtime here. All right, well, today's Lunchtime Live, welcome. I'm Robin, and we're gonna be talking about white sage. So, hi, Shirley. Okay, so sage, white sage is in the family Lamiaceae, which is in the mint family. And the Latin words salvio, that means I am well. And the apiana means belonging to the bees. So the genus and species is Salvia apiana. And the common name is white sage and Salvia blanca. So we are here by the visitor center. This is a dominant species in the coastal sage scrub, but we're by the visitor center, you know, so that we get, you can hear me well, and I can be without a mask because nobody usually comes on this side of the building. So let me take the camera off. Hi, Donna. And we'll get a little bit closer. To okay, so you can see the building, and the sage is kind of mixed in with some encelia. Pretty little sunflower kind of takes over and wants to be a monoculture here if we're not careful. So let me show you the sage. I'll try to get up close. So it's a bush, and it can get to be about 6 feet. And if you see the bush, you'll see these long stalks, and those are the blooms. If you include the bloom, it kind of goes from about a 6-foot plant to a 10-foot. And if we get in close, you can see that the stems are kind of, I don't know if you could really see. Let me put this little macro lens on. Okay, bear with me a little bit here. Wow, this is kind of hard. I think I'm gonna skip it. Okay. So if you can see the stems, they're sort of a square shape. They look round, but they're square. And they're also soft until you get to the base. And the base of the bush is really woody. Let me see if I can get in here to show you. It's a really woody plant at the base. Gray. It turns gray. Here's a nice piece of it. So the wood is a hardwood, and the stems are really still soft. So the leaves you can see are opposite each other, and the blooms come out right here, right there. And you can see that the way it is built is kind of in whorls. So the kind of little circular whorls. And it's a sage color. So it's kind of a mix between white and green. And in the evening, it almost looks blue. So one of the things about the leaves, see how they fold kind of like a taco? Like laurel sumacs also do this. That's an adaptation to heat. And another adaptation to heat is the color. That color, I'm sure you guys know, we adapt to heat too. If your car has black seats, it's really hot in the summer, so you kind of want those light colored seats so you don't burn yourself. And that's what this light color is about, and the folding inward of the leaves. So the flower has these big prominent I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put this back on and show you guys a picture. Okay, so this is a picture. Hopefully you guys can see it. They're really in spike-like clusters. And the flower itself looks a lot like a snapdragon. And it's this really pale, sort of a lavender, pale lavender. And it blooms from April to July. So really next month might have been a better choice. You can see on the flowers that the lower lip really sticks out, and the seeds are tiny. They're little tiny seeds, and they're shiny and oily, and I'll tell you about how the Cumier use them in a minute. The roots of the plant are shallow, and it likes a sandy, well-drained soil. So if you want to have one in your yard, that's kind of what native plants are all about. They like the soil that we have, and be sure to plant one in full sun. I planted mine in kind of filtered sun, and it's not as happy as it would be. So this is a perennial herb, and I'm sure you guys smell it when you come to the estuary. It is really pungent and kind of overbearing when it's hot. It attracts bees, because remember we talked about the meaning of salvia. Salvio is I am well, and apiana is belonging to the bees. And the bees are, I wish you could see and hear them because they're everywhere. And you guys have probably had sage honey, which is delicious. So the Kumeyaay use this plant, the smell, they rub it on themselves, the hunters, so that the animals don't smell a person, you know, they just smell a bush. So the hunters used it that way. And for food, you can use the tiny seeds. You can grind them up. They mixed them into a pignole, which is like a meal. And they did it with pine nuts. So that sounds kind of tasty. And you can imagine that one of the medicinal uses would be respiratory, because it really clears your sinuses when you take a big whiff of that. They use it as a topical disinfectant, an anti-inflammatory, an antioxidant. And some people like it like an aromatherapy, where apparently it's good if you put it under your pillow, you can enhance your sleep and reduce nightmares. So as far as the way that they used it, they consider it, you know, a sacred plant, and they bundled and burned it to cleanse or bless places or people or objects, events. And I can show you what a bundle looks like. I got this from an indigenous friend. A lot of people like to do this sage bundling. It's become kind of a popular thing, like in yoga and different places. But you need to understand its cultural significance and try to be respectful, because it is considered a sacred plant. Anytime before 1978, it was actually illegal for Native Americans and indigenous people to practice this. So, you know, try to be respectful. If you try to buy from an indigenous company, or you know, at least learn that cultural significance and the proper way to bundle sage. Also, you know, grow your own. Don't go around picking wild sage, because it can get, you know, oversourced. Does anybody have any questions about the sage? I'm trying to see my camera here. Hi Terry, hi Robbie. I know there's a lag, so I'll try to wait and see if I see any questions. Yeah, come and see the sage plants, because they are just about to bloom. April is the best time, and you'll see the beautiful flowers and the bees. So that's about all I've got on sage. Hi Donna. Oh, you're absolutely right. Sage is excellent in turkey dressing. It is a perennial herb. I wish you guys could be here and smell it. All right, well, thanks for tuning in to today's Lunchtime Live. Coming up soon, we'll be talking about jojoba and the yellow-crowned night heron and our native rose, which we are lucky to have one. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye for today. Go enjoy some sunshine. Thanks for tuning in. I'm supposed to say finish.